Thank you.
I'll start us off. Joe, incredible match, but what are your first thoughts and feelings after that result?
Yeah, dominated by disappointment. I felt that we had enough of the game to get the result. A lot of it was our own errors. Argentina, they're a really good team, the Argentinians, but we're not making 11 line breaks to 3 and scoring 4 tries to 1 and we don't get a result. It's incredibly frustrating, but disappointing at the same time, particularly on the back of we would stack some good work together and then cough the ball up or give it away too easily. We didn't win the battle in the air, and that gave them access in behind us. And obviously the penalty count they got twice as many penalties as we did, 14-7, and one of those was a free kick that they scored their try from, which will be a big learning curve for a young man who I thought worked his socks off tonight.
Harry, obviously on the field, it was incredibly loud, the momentum in that last 20 minutes. What was kind of going through the team's head at that point, both beforehand and then leading up to that?
Yeah, it was probably the first time we got a little bit of momentum where we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot there. We held on the ball, we didn't try and push the offload, and then we started playing some really good footy, and there's a lot of belief there we could get the job done, and Rabs was a real calm voice there in the end, telling us what to do, and everyone just listened to him and did that, and we got obviously pretty close there in the end, but I guess that first 60 is quite disappointing.
Harry, you're someone who always works really, really well with the referees. You're respected, you're always polite. It seemed it was difficult for you to get your points across to the referee today.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Obviously, we gave away too many penalties, and some I wanted to have another look at, but didn't really get too much opportunity there. And we've got to be better. In the first 2 games against South Africa, we gave away, I think, 10 penalties in 2 games, which and we've obviously done a lot more in the last 2 games. So as a squad, we need to improve that ourselves. And I'm probably not really going to comment on our relationship.
Joe, can you put your finger on why that penalty count has changed from the South African tour to this swing last 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's a variety of things. It's hard to put your finger on one thing. A couple of times we've been penalised for sealing, or we've been penalised for holding on the ground, or we've been penalised for offside. Twice we were penalised for getting up in the ruck and being in the way. I thought there was some good gamesmanship from Garcia today to manage to run into people. That sort of thing. I thought they fished a couple out, and I thought we provided some too easily. So we've got to go back and have a look at how we can best get out of that pass channel or running channel post tackle, and at the same time, there's a couple of offsides right at the start of the game, and that dilutes your confidence to get forward off the line a little bit, and then you get a little bit passive and you get caught on the wrong side of a tackle, and those things can, I suppose, they can start to stack up after a while.
The players struggling with refereeing inconsistency. Felipe was just in, he's very strong. He said he's fed up with the inconsistencies that referees are applying week to week and what they're looking at and so on and so forth. Are you feeling the same?
Look, I'm frustrated with what we didn't get right. I think as soon as you start getting distracted by things you don't control, I think there's a risk. We'll go through the channels, and there's decisions that, right toward the end there, when we almost get ourselves back into the game with a little bit more time to spare, where we're frustrated, but it's our fault we're in that position in the game to a large degree. So if we can stay focused on what we need to do and leave the match officials to focus on what they need to do, I think it's probably the best course of action.
It's been a bit of a theme, slow starts, really, even dating back to that England test at Twickenham. The side obviously finishing very well, but what do you put down the slow starts to? Is it selection? What is it?
Yeah, again, there's a myriad of reasons, and even going back to England, we led quite comfortably early in the second half. So I think it's easy enough to sort of label something, but when you peel it back, I think that we've had some good starts. But if we focus solely on the start, there's still a heck of a lot of the game to go. And selection is one of the things. It always is, because you want cohesion from the start. So we had a new 10 and a new 12, and then, we ended up with a number 7 at 12. The way we were patched together in the second test in Cape Town, the way we ended up patched together today, I'm still proud of the effort that players made. Because when you've got players out of position like that, it is quite hard to get the continuity that you're looking for. And I thought Carlos slotted in really well at 12. Not that you'll probably see him there again in the future too quickly. But because we have had a few injuries and we had a few guys that we knew were not going to be ready by Saturday, we thought we'd try to build our continuity on Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll take responsibility for that. We didn't get quite to where we needed to be, but we've trying to balance that short-term focus with a long-term vision around where we can get this team to in 2 years' time, with where we can get to them in 2 weeks' time when we play in Eden Park.
Speaking of the All Blacks, James O'Connor said earlier in the week that he wants to stay with the Wallabies through the Bledisloe series. He said that on a podcast. Where's he at? Are you wanting him to stay?
He was great value again today, wasn't he? And we don't have any experience at 10. We've got 3 very inexperienced 10s, and they are part of that hub of your team. So, but how do you get experience? That's part of the short-term focus, long-term vision. And we've tried to balance it by having, maybe some inexperience, but having some experience to bring off the bench and to help players during the week, just to see the right moment to maybe knock a kick or make a pass or set a particular play up. So that's a discussion point. I will definitely be having a chat to James this evening or tomorrow morning, because we have to make a decision pretty much straight away.
How did you see Tane's performance today, Joe?
Yeah, I thought it was solid, Jamie. I think, first test start, you got a new 12 that you haven't played with, and we didn't get the continuity of ball for him to bring us into the game. So I thought it was pretty tough. And again, I think any young 10, they want to start well, but then getting charged down early for Montoya's try. But then he hits a beautiful 50-22 to put us into a good, strong position. Not too long after that. His passing and kicking games were solid, but it's a tough task out there, and particularly when there's not much Tane can do if there's an error made and then we're back defending again, or we're chasing a turnover attack that they had in the first half particularly. So I thought he connected up and defended really well.
Joe, Bledisloe Cup, obviously there's 2 weeks before that, giving some tired bodies a little bit of time to rest. No team has beaten him there since 1994. You're building something here with this team. I'm assuming that you think it's absolutely possible this team can go and do a job over there?
Yeah, we've got to believe, because if you don't believe, you're beaten before you try. But we also know we've got to be better than we were today, and better than we were last week. and part of that is the start, part of that is the continuity, and we'll get some people back, but we can't just rely on that. We've got to rely on our work ethic. And the one thing I would say is the support was phenomenal today. You could hear it coming into the coach's box, and it has to be loud for that. And it does lift the players without a doubt. But we've got to keep earning that. We've got to keep people enthused about the game, widen the footprint of the game, get involved, as we did in Townsville and community events, and trying to really grow the game. And the best way to do it is not to come second.
Harry, obviously there was a lot of preparation to arrest those slow starts, real focus on the discipline. Any Joe Smith team is just absolute focus on discipline. From a player's perspective, how are you seeing a way to improve just getting on the right side of the discipline balance?
Yeah, it was obviously disappointing this week because we obviously wanted to improve on last week there and we didn't, and that's obviously we got to, before this All Blacks test, get back on the training paddock and train it. We're only as good as what we train. We're a team who prepares well, and when we prepare well, we play some pretty decent footy. So got an opportunity to, when we get over New Zealand, prepare well, try and fix that, because we can't keep doing that because we're giving teams a leg up, and at international quality, it makes it very hard for yourself.
Thank you.
Take care.
Cheers. Thanks, John.
I'll pop back with a couple of players.
You got an idea?
Not yet, mate. I'll come back to you.